Hi everyone, hi Mom. Another completed journal. As promised, I wanted to have it done for the weekend. This is a departure from what I normally do, except for, vintage. But I wanted to do a wrap journal, so I went to my craft text and I bought the new stuff well, it's not new, chocolate brown. And the book closed measures 5 5/8 wide, 1 inch spine, and an 8.5 inches long. There's 2 signatures, and I did do the cross stitch as I usually do, but I put cross stitching on the other side too. That was my husband's idea. And then of course seam binding just to decorate the edge. This came about because I messed up how I wanted to close the book. And so there is a band over hitch post and the Tim Holtz book plate. This is just a stamp from Blue Fern, and I covered it in that thick embossing powder, so it's got a really neat dome effect to it. I doubt it'll show, but it's really cool. Anyway, the front page is actually my design, but the book itself I've put together using the Vintage Love Story from Dreams Etc. It is my ultimate favorite kit, and apparently it's everybody else's too, because, yeah, I can't keep them in stock. And then I've just used a Blue Fern Studio cardstock. Their cardstock's super duper thick, way thicker than most things. So I wanted, the back to be nice and sturdy. I used that. I used my the varnish. What is it called? Liquitex. Sorry, I always forget the name of that. Liquitex varnish to coat it instead of the decoupage. And so you just unhook that. And this is the other part of the page that I've designed. So it's a 2-piece. So that'd be attached. And then I've used the Blue Fern in the front and the back part here, and this is part of Jen's kit. So there's 20 printed pages. I used both her kits. She has a version 1 and version 2, and so I've used it all. And then instead of using tea-stained copy paper, I decided to fill it with tea-stained tracing paper, because I love the feel. Oh, you guys, it's squishy and I love the sound. So it's exclusively Jen's papers on the inside. I did use her paper, and I just created a belly band in Photoshop, and also the tags and stuff. This is part of the kit. These I think I just cut them out of one of her pages into a tag shape. But there's loads in her kit, so yeah, I don't think that there's not a lot, because there is. I used some of her paper, created the Tim Holtz frame, but I filled the frame in with the part that cuts out, kind of like that look. And I had a couple of little bingo cards in my stash. This is just some tulle. The butterfly is a Michaels butterfly from Sarah. I want to make sure I keep you guys on camera. Her pages are stunning. Okay, this one I turned into a flip, and this is one of the postcards that's in the kit. So this is from her first kit. I can't tell you all of them because I don't remember. I mix and match. This is part of the kit, though. There's a sheet of just cutouts. I created a mason jar using her paper. This is part of her kit. I tea-stained some trim here, and this is I have this in my store as a freebie. A sheet of 4 of them, I believe. Now, I'm not sure whether I shrunk these down or whether they're part of the kit. I don't remember, but if they're not, it's easy done. And then I added one of those tags off my clothes. Another part of the kit. Little bird. A lot of the things that I do, like die cuts and things like that, I use packaging, old packaging, as my chipboard because it's nice and thin, but it still gives a little bit more stability. So when I do that, it's just a little trick. It has to be thin. It can't be a thick one because these are just those metal dies. I layer the paper over top that I want to use. So I cut them together. That way it's exact fit. And then I'd peel up part of it and glue that down and then peel up the rest. That way it doesn't shift around. So it's just a little tip there for you. This is part of the kit, and so is the postcard. This one I just cut out of leftover paper. All of the die cut here and this one here are from Diane. She sent me those beautiful die cuts, so I'm using them up because I really love them. I did order them. Excuse me. That's part of the kit, and so is that one. This is part of the kit. There's a couple of petal pocket envelopes, which I didn't use, but I liked the square. So I used that, and then I just turned one of these into a tuck spot. This is done like that. Actually, I think that other page is done that way too. Oh, this one I forgot to ink. I'll have to leave that out. It's just a leftover. So, did I put it in this page? No, maybe I haven't come up to it yet. I guess not. I must have put it in the other one. Anyway, I'll show you what I'm talking about. More die cuts from Diane. I just layered my little bird, and then I had that in my stash. This I've just done with some dollar store trim. This is a Tim Holtz cut-aparts. A whole sheet of them. They come like that, old vintage people. And since this is called Vintage Love Story, I thought I'd put a couple in there. So we have a mason jar and one of her tags, and then that's just from my stash. I think it's from Christy Art, but I'm not positive. And she's on Etsy. This is a Spellbinders pocket die. And then I've just added, this is Tim Holtz, this is Blue Fern. Should do it separately because it goes in better. This isn't a tuck, I just added it for decoration. There's another of the belly bands. These are also Tim Holtz, also Blue Fern, and just a tea stain tag that I stamped on. That's a Blue Fern stamp. I just love her pages, boy, I tell you. And I'm not sure which one that one's from. It's just a cutout from one of my paper collections. This one's in the store. And I like how that whole page is really, it's from the same page. I've just cut it all up. And another mason jar and another square. This is part of her cutouts. And there's another one of her tags. I think there's 5, and there are 2 different sizes on one page. Sorry. Just in my stash, I just put that there. This is, I think, Ephemeris Vintage Garden, and I've just written all my stuff on the back. And just added a little bird for decoration, but it flips open so you can write on the whole page. More of Diane's doily die cuts, and that also comes as a cut apart. Okay, oh, this was the one. I had a little dangle, but this one flips open as well. This is an ephemera piece, but it was really long. It was too long this way and too wide, obviously. So I thought I would turn it into that, and then that shorter one kind of became that. Even though it would have fit on a page, I just thought it was kind of neat. So, yep, this is part of the trim Diane had given me as well. Another mason jar, another flip, another cutout. Another die cut. This is from Denise's store, and I sanded it slightly first and then I tea stained it. It has sort of a coating on it, so in my experience from using them before, I found they bubbled a little bit from the heat, so I just sanded it and it worked better. Just some layering here with the little mason jar, and that's also in my store. This is just part of a paper collection. I had tons of this stuff. And then there's I believe that flips up. Yep. And then in the envelope is another one. Another flip and another little tag. And then this piece, I had two of these cut out. So I lined it up, and then I made a notebook out of leftover cut-offs. Thought that was kind of neat. This is also part of her collection, cutouts, and I've added, I think that's Tim Holtz paper pad. And just added some trim to one of the tags. Here's another square. Another side band with a couple of tags. One is that's from Blue Fern. And then this I tea stained, I think it's from Prima. Something about writing. Yeah. Can't think of the name. And another freebie from my store. And some more layering with Diane's die cuts. Just love that. I can't wait till mine comes. And that's it. So this is open. You can put a little tag in that. I think it goes down to about there. So you can put a long skinny tag in there if you like. And then you just push that down, push that over, grab the little rubber band here and wrap it around the post. Ta-da! I really love the way this turned out. I probably would never do this again. It was tons of work, but I really love the effect that I got. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we will talk soon. Bye!